What up, people? Yeah. It's your boy Marvelac and McGee.
Young Dev.
And we are the Nerds in the Hood.
Nerds in the Hood.
In the Hood.
We're doing a special segment that we like to call Facts or...
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
That's right, folks. If you live in the hood, you already know that when two people are having a debate or disagreement, they usually always have two words that are essential to the hood now. And that is facts, which is agree, and fuck out of here, which is disagree. We're sure by now it's probably evolved into something else, but we're going to go with what we know best. Facts or fuck out of here. And what we like to do with this is we like to find lists online and just break those lists down and see if they made the right decisions or the wrong decisions with the list that they made. Now, this is a very special list for me because I'm a wrestling fan. I'm the biggest one here by default. But these guys know some of the mainstream wrestlers as well. And
Back in the heyday.
You said what? You're not basic?
So don't be calling me basic, bro.
Oh, you right. My fault.
You a basic bitch?
So that means you ready for the Will Ospreay match?
That's not a real character. No.
That's just made up.
That's
fabricated. Fabricated. You made it up.
I'm sure Will Ospreay is watching this pretty pissed off. So
you made it up.
He's like, I don't know who these nerds in the hood are, but I am done with them. So WrestleMania weekend just passed, biggest WrestleMania of all time because it was the 40th one, and they pulled out as much stops as they can. We already had the Raw after WrestleMania. By the time you see this, we'll probably have the SmackDown after WrestleMania as well as NXT. Wrestling is on a full-time high right now.
It's the first time I've watched in years.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah. WWE
I want to say
is
like
back.
Late 2010s.
Yeah.
No, like
What made you
maybe
wanna
even
watch
early
this one?
2010s.
What made you want to watch this?
Because The Rock came back. Rock is very visible in the WWE now. He is what is it? He's the boss or some shit.
He has ownership in the TKO, which is the people that own WWE now, and he's The Rock.
And it's The Rock. The Rock. The Rock. The growing up, that's how I met The Rock. Was wrestling. Became one of my favorite wrestlers in like the world. And then he ventured out into other things. He's a big movie star now, and the fact to see him come back to wrestling, being like the heel, I guess, that's what you say now. Mm-hmm. But it is dope because I love to see, like, that's how I grew up. I grew up on The Rock in wrestling. So to see him back in wrestling, it made me draw to be like, I got to see what's happening. That means because honestly, when he started, a lot of traction has been coming. They've been doing a lot of changes, right? Like a lot of people pull up now, rappers. Like they had just now at WrestleMania, they had, Meek Mill, 2 Chainz, and some other people there too.
Wale, Wale's always there. He's an avid fan.
Yeah, he's an avid fan. There. So like, and they were in Philly.
Sound like Vendetta.
They were in Philly too.
What?
No, that's not the name of the game.
Are you thinking of Def Jam Vendetta?
Def Jam.
You stupid. I was like, who? I was like, Vendetta.
I thought you were talking about Viva Vendetta.
I was like, what? It just hit me back quick. But yeah, I'm glad.
It was dope. So I'm mad I missed Saturday first night. But I caught Sunday, and I thought Sunday was lit.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, too. Also, big thing, too, Damian Priest cashing in his Money in the Bank, winning the World Championship, WWE World Championship, becoming the first Puerto Rican wrestler to win a World Heavyweight title since Pedro Morales.
Boricua.
Yeah, first one. It was 50 years ago.
Boricua.
So, big ups. Ago. Yeah. Big ups to Damian Priest, doing it for the PR people. Also doing it for New York because he's from Brooklyn. Shout out to him for NYC. Big ups to that man doing it big, man. You've earned that. We've seen you come up. You've earned that, and you got it. So definitely shout outs to you, my guy. But in the meantime, what we do want to talk about is that IGN and Bleacher Report made 2 separate lists of like the greatest wrestlers of all time. Now, we've done an IGN list before with anime, so we're gonna leave them alone for the wrestling list. We're gonna focus on Bleacher Report's wrestling list. They've had a few in the past, but this one is the 50 greatest WWE superstars of all time. I
like it.
Because of who we are, we're not going to do all 50. We're not going to go through all 50. And because of who these guys are, I don't want to do all 50 because there's going to be names they might not recognize, especially from today's current crop of stars. But I saw the top 10, and I figured in my heart that they would notice from their time, their youth of watching wrestling and stuff like that. So
I just need 10.
Yeah. So
just give me the top 10.
Some of the questions they asked here was like basically the criteria of how they picked it, which was historical significance. Did they have a meaningful impact on the history of WWE? Championships. Were they among the most decorated in company history? Popularity. How over was the superstar with the WWE's fans? Needle mover. Did they make a meaningful difference in ratings, ticket sales, and overall business? Time active. Was the superstar successful over a sustained period or just a flash in the pan? Pay-per-view appearances. Were they fixtures on the biggest shows in WWE? And finally, their skills, meaning their in-ring skills, microphone skills, and charisma. Were they more than just a wrestler? Did their skills set atop the microphone? And were they charismatic? So this is basically what they focused on and what they did in the WWE. Some of the names that were outside of the top 10 that you would probably know are names like Randy Orton, Eddie Guerrero, Brock Lesnar, Jericho, Trish Stratus, Booker T, okay. Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Big Show. So those are some of the names.
Those are outside the top 10.
Yeah, those are outside the top 10. And just outside the top 10, the number 11 is Kurt Angle.
Wow, Kurt Angle. Interesting.
So this is an interesting list. Make sure y'all go to Bleacher Report. Check out the other 40 names that made it. So here's the top 10, guys. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Nigga study it back quick. I looked over, he was like...
Exactly. Scanning.
All right, number 10 is Hogan, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Do you feel that he belongs? So the way we do it is we're going to go over those questions.
But he's a top 10.
That's facts.
Yeah.
He's a top 10.
That's facts.
I don't
Hulk
know
Hogan was what I think of top 10 people. Again, I'm not as up on wrestling, and it's been like probably almost 10 to 15 years since I haven't been on wrestling. But when I was, like, I know when a wrestler like shakes a movement, and Hulk Hogan came before my time. But as I started watching wrestling, I always heard of Hulk Hogan. So I think about those wrestlers that made an impact and like pretty much changed wrestling, and that has that persona about them. I would say Hulk Hogan should definitely be up there just of the person he was. And, he was in movies. He was in, when a star gravitates to other realms, that's how I know, they were that big. So Hulk Hogan definitely should be top 10 for sure. That's a fact.
Okay. So facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, we can all say that. Hulk Hogan still holds one of the records for longest championship reigns. The guy in the 80s and the 90s was everywhere. So you're right. He was literally... They gave him his own cartoon. They gave him his own show, just everywhere.
You just know his style.
Yeah, he was one of the biggest WWE wrestlers.
What did they call his group? Like the people who are fans, Hulkamaniacs.
Oh, Hulkamaniacs. Yeah.
They had a lot of those.
Yeah. To this day, and this always makes me laugh. I'll say it real quick. When you watch wrestling, and they'll bring people to talk about wrestling now or whatever. Like non-wrestling fans or celebrities or whatever, they'll be like, what do you think about this current group of wrestlers? And they'll sit there, they have no idea. And they'll immediately go, man, I came up in a different time, and I was a Hulkamaniac, brother. I took my vitamins and said my prayers. And you be sitting there like, he asked about Roman Reigns, you over here talking about Hulk Hogan still? Like, come on, bro. But that's how influential he was. Yeah, speaking of influential, above him was number 9, Roddy Piper.
Who's that?
Roddy Piper was a dope-ass Scottish wrestler. You've probably seen him in movies and stuff. If you Google him, you see his face, you'll know off the rip. Dope-ass wrestler. I don't know if he was higher than Hogan, but...
I feel like if I don't know you and you're higher than Hulk Hogan, it's kind of crazy.
God rest his soul. There's a reason he was that dope. You've seen him before. He was that dope. Back in the day, he was dope. He had his own movie. He was in a movie. Huh?
Oh, yeah. I do know
he was 80s and 90s also.
I do know this guy. Okay, yeah.
He was a no-nonsense dude, and people loved him because
people still cosplay him.
Yeah, well...
Yeah,
they do?
Yeah, this style right here, with the leather jacket and the red shirt with the thing.
If you're doing it like that, then yeah, that's fair.
I've seen people dressed like this for wrestling events.
Yeah, he gave the name over to Ronda Rousey, especially when she got into wrestling, so she would call herself Rowdy Ronda. She dressed a lot like him too. She owed a lot to him, but he was something special. He should have went higher. So I don't know if he's higher. Hogan though.
I
don't know if he's top 10,
but you can't be higher than Hogan, in my opinion.
If I'm going off of in ring and charisma, yeah, he was a beast. He was a badass. But yeah, I don't think he was higher than Hogan in terms of like influential. But it's tough to say. But in my opinion, I would still put him in the top 10, but I would put Hogan above him.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say facts, just not above Hogan in that sense. But anyway, number 8 is Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid.
Yes. Yeah, facts.
Facts.
Yeah,
I would put him in the top 5. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He does the Sweet Chin music, right?
Yes,
that's right.
He
for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Because after he retired, they just used this.
Isn't Shawn Michaels the guy who can go in slow motion?
What? No.
Oh, who's the one that had the slow motion intro?
John Morrison. I was like, what? I was like, what?
No. I know who Shawn Michaels is, but I thought he also had the. I thought he also did the slow motion.
That intro was pretty fire.
We always used to talk about that. Somehow they made my man. He would walk in mad normal and then just go in slow motion for a quick second.
Yeah, he's right. And we
don't know how they did it. We always said they just slowed the feed down, but
it's like, yo, put this shit in slow motion. Boop.
Yeah, it was pretty fire. He's right. That shit used to have us sitting there like, whoa. So yeah, I'm gonna say facts on that. Shawn Michaels was definitely. Everybody tried to be like him, just have the swag that he had. His swag was so dope that it just rubbed. It just didn't really work well with a lot of people. But he looked back on that and realized like, yeah, all right, I fucked up. But during his time, he was that dude. Couldn't be stopped. Number 7, speaking of, The Rock.
The Rock.
Wow.
The Rock.
All the way 7?
7, yeah.
I mean, he deserves to be in the top 10.
Definitely top 10. I would have to hear the other ones before him.
It's a little arguable. I'm not going to lie to y'all.
Damn. The Rock. The Rock. I
mean, yes, top 10.
I go
7, though, I don't know.
I go fuck out of here for 7. He's supposed to be in top 5.
When I look at the list, there may be one person, but The Rock
definitely should be top 5.
The Rock probably may be top 5. You're right. But facts to being on the list, but not at that place.
At 7.
Yeah. So number 6, Bruno Sammartino.
I don't know.
You two don't know who that is, but as one of the longest decorated champions of WWE history, he deserves to be on that list.
So, do you think that high though? At that time?
Because of what he did during a time when wrestling wasn't that hot. Yes.
And it wasn't that scripted?
Well, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, you don't believe that.
No, I know script. No, I do, but I'm saying like at that point, I don't know how scripted it was. Yeah, back then.
I feel like it definitely is more scripted.
Yeah, because back in the day.
Because people would get hurt.
Yeah, but back in the day, yeah, that's what I'm saying. A person probably got like slapped, and he looked at him and was like, yo, that wasn't, you ain't tell me that was part of the script. We got scrapped for real. Yeah. So I don't know. But I'm going to say yes, facts. I know y'all don't know who he is, but I'll speak on behalf and say facts.
So I believe if you say he should be on the list. At that number, though?
I'll stay it there, because the other 5 kind of is going to be, this is where it's going to be fun. Number 5, Ant's favorite theme song. That's right.
Wow. John Cena. Really? John Cena is higher than The Rock?
It's because, honestly, it's because more kids like him. That's what I can say. More kids like him a lot. And actually, not only just kids, there was a lot of adults that was really liking him too.
The theme song, bro.
The Rock was fire.
The Rock
is fire.
The Rock is fire.
Is fire. But John Cena, bro, I'm not even gonna lie. Yo, shout out to my boy John.
Shout out to my boy John.
And to my second dad, aka Big Jose, because that nigga used to dress like John Cena. I ain't gonna
stop it, really.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
That's funny. He walk in the house like, but that's John Cena? He'd be like, yes. Okay, Deb, I'll put it to you this way. The reason he's on this list, I don't know if they saying it for this reason. He was a beast in terms of promos.
Yep.
And for me, there was a time where they pushed this man to the moon and he was in a Hulk Hogan-esque atmosphere because there were no stars. Austin left. Undertaker was wrestling less. Michaels was wrestling less. Triple H was wrestling a little less.
So you're saying he's nice because of the lack of competition in the street? Like, that's kind of crazy.
No. What I'm saying, no. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, okay.
Because you're saying they lost all those stars, so he was the star.
Let me explain. No. Because Orton was, there were still people there.
Put words in my mouth.
Yeah,
that's what
because Orton was.
Said it.
No. I was trying to say that when these people were leaving, wrestling started losing ratings,
Why is that? Because the
people you wanted to see were going less. Yeah,
exactly.
So what happened was guys like him, guys like Batista, guys like Orton stepped up. Triple H was still there. Don't get me wrong. Undertaker was still there, but those guys were realizing that their age was catching up to them. But this guy was holding it down where people like yourselves could keep watching. And then when The Rock did come back, we were more hyped because we were like, there's this guy that we don't.
Yeah, I mean he's not lying about that.
Yeah.
When John Cena was killing it, he was the man, and then everyone was like, he has to fight The Rock.
Yeah.
When then The Rock finally comes back, when John Cena and The Rock fought, everyone was like, yo, this is that shit.
This is that shit.
But were you more hyped for John Cena and The Rock fighting, or The Rock and Stone Cold fighting?
Yeah, but you see, when The Rock and Stone Cold fought, they were in their primes, and this was more of a passing of the torch match. This was like, yo, I'm giving you this to say you're the man.
The Rock fighting Stone Cold. I'm gonna be honest. Everyone knew, like, at that point it was like, man, Stone Cold's the better wrestler. We
right, but that was okay. But that was
John Cena and The Rock fighting was a whole different atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because John Cena
somehow
tiptoed his way all the way to being the fucking man.
And Rock was like, prove it.
Man, bro. Like, he was the man, bro.
Yeah, he was the man. That's what I'm saying.
Man. Even when he came out with the "You Can't See Me," everybody was like doing that shit. Like, that's a real movement.
Which he
later admitted he got it from
Yayo. What are you talking about? Everyone was doing the eyebrow.
But the "You Can't See Me" hit different,
It hit different. It did. I know how you feel. I know how you feel.
First of all, but that's
the other proof. Bro, what's the Rock's theme song? What's the Rock's theme song, bro?
But first
do you know the Rock's theme song? Do you know the Rock's theme song?
Can you hold on?
But you know John Cena's theme song.
So you saying John Cena made this? You saying John Cena made this?
Not even that.
Did John Cena make? Did John Cena make?
No, I just say he did it. He got it from Yayo.
Yeah, exactly.
He did get that from Yayo.
He did that from Yayo. So he didn't make that up.
But that just shows you that how down he was, bro. He was for the culture.
Also, when they did a promo,
like, he made rap songs. Bro. Hold on, for the culture.
When they did a promo battle, John Cena called out the fact that The Rock could not remember his lines, and wrote all his lines in the name of the city that he was on his wrist. He was like, I don't got my promo notes on my wrist, and The Rock tried to play it off, but the camera already caught like the whole thing written on his wrist. And like he said, you got to rap on.
I mean, the Rock just made it. It's about drive. It's about.
No. He got a song with Wyclef Jean like years ago.
That's that song.
Oh yeah, that's song. It's about power. Nah, that song.
But he was already done wrestling. I mean, I think he was done.
Yeah, I think he was done. He was done. The song with Wyclef was a banger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, drink. That shit was a banger.
Yeah.
But
John, let's move on.
Yeah.
Spend too much time.
Yeah. Number 4, Undertaker.
Gong. I believe that. The Undertaker is the truth.
Undefeated wrestling streak.
Come on, he has some of the best highlights. Throwing a man through the cage. Everybody knows that. All those coffin raising things. My man got just hired for Arabian Soccer to give the trophy, bro. Like, he's doing it all.
Nah, I would say that's a fact. That's a fact. And then when he showed up at WrestleMania this past,
that was pretty cool.
That was fine.
I'm gonna give him facts because of one reason. One of my favorite reasons. Shout out to my boy Donovan, my boy. There's an episode of Monday Night Raw where Hulk Hogan was minding his business, and he was talking about how he was going to take like a motorcycle, go out for a drive, and think about beating up Undertaker later or whatever. And Undertaker beat him up, tied him to the back of his own motorcycle, and
dragged him around.
The fucking city.
That was the crazy thing about that. Is that you can't fake dragging a nigga.
You really gotta drag him.
He might not have been beating to hurt him, but he was dragging him.
Yeah. To be fair, he wasn't going fast speed.
They probably swept the floor mad times to make sure there was nothing there to cut him up. But like, he still dragged him, bro.
He wasn't driving fast.
No, of course not.
His whole
3 miles per hour.
It was fairly fast. It was enough that when he swerved, Hulk Hogan flew into some boxes.
Yeah.
So that for me. But outside of that, the undefeated WrestleMania streak until he lost, and all the other stuff, putting over Roman Reigns and so many other people, some amazing matches. He was great.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah.
They told a story that was so dope. We all believed that he was real. And
he's done, right?
Yeah, he's done. We all believed that he was real, and we all believed that Kane was his real brother.
Yeah.
And we found out it was just 2 separate white dudes.
So Undertaker showed up in WrestleMania, if you didn't know. And he choke slammed The Rock.
Yeah.
So like it was like the last
match. I know I saw that I did see Cena interrupted because there was like something going on, right? Cena jumps in, then The Rock comes out. I didn't know The Undertaker came out after that.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. Yeah. It was a whole thing. Literally, they literally did Avengers Endgame in wrestling. Yeah, but anyway, that's number 4. Number 3, the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
That's another dude that deserves it. Yeah, he's a movement.
Yeah. He was a movement, man.
Just his persona alone, he everyone tried to emulate him, and he really had that fan base behind him.
Yeah. If he came out now, he would be even bigger than when
he was a generational star type thing.
He was unhinged, and I loved it, and the way he went, and just like with his girl, he even had a real hood storyline where it was like, yo, Hulk Hogan, you getting too cool with my girl, bro. And he fought him.
That's crazy.
It was a real story. Like, yo, he walked in on them chilling. He was like, you try to do something with my girl, bro? And then they just started beefing.
I just like the way he talked, bro.
That's true.
He brought status.
Yeah, he brought status. He made people buy Slim Jims to later be like, not gonna front, shit's type trash. But the commercials is fire. This shit's type whack. But the commercials is fire. Number 2. Hell, here's where it gets crazy, fellas. Number 2, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Whoo, top 2. Honestly, I'm glad he made.
I'm gonna say facts for making the list. I just feel you should be number 1.
You think you should be number 1?
I think you should be number 1.
Oh, so that means I got that one.
When you find out what number 1 is, it might make you feel the type of way, but I feel you should be number 1. It's an argument for number 1.
To say that's number 1.
Because I'm trying to think right now because you already said The Rock, John Cena.
It's not who I think you're saying.
You seen Macho Man Randy Savage. You saying Steve Austin now. The only person that I thought should be in the top 10 that wasn't there was Socko Man.
Oh, Mankind.
Socko Man. I was like, who the hell is Socko Man? And I'm like,
isn't that his name?
No, man, Mr. Socko.
His name is Mr. Socko. Yeah. But the wrestler is Mankind.
Yeah, Mankind. I feel like Mankind should have been in the top 10.
Hold on, let's just talk about Stone Cold.
Mick Foley was 15.
Stone Cold. 15? Stone Cold.
That's kind of low. I ain't gonna lie.
Growing up, Stone Cold. I think because Stone Cold came before The Rock, right? Or is it the other way around?
Yeah.
No, they came around the same time.
Stone Cold came
pretty much.
I feel like Stone Cold was out a little bit. Well, he was more because I feel like that was the first wrestler I seen
in WWE. I mean, yeah, he came a little towards around the same time as The Rock, but he's been wrestling longer than The Rock. He was doing like he was in WCW, he was in ECW.
Because I feel like I saw Stone Cold like growing up, like that was. And then I started watching more, and I started seeing The Rock.
Well, yeah.
Stone Cold was first.
Yeah, Rock is younger, so he had.
Yeah, Stone Cold was first, bro. Stone Cold 316.
No, I'm just saying
he was outside.
They came out. They kind of blew up around the same time. But Stone Cold was out longer. Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I like The Rock. I did. But Stone Cold was gangster to me, so I always
everybody would try to stun each other. Like that was the
it was the whole beer drinking thing. Like everybody was kind of conservative. I feel like Stone Cold was out here crushing beers on people. I'm just like, who is this guy?
He was one of the most influential people. He made you want to watch wrestling. He made you hype every week. You wanted to hear what he was gonna say. There was other wrestlers that were cool too, but he just had this.
Continue to say.
He just had this I don't give a fuck type attitude where just at any moment, you can name a bunch of Stone Cold memories, I was
about to say, isn't Stone Cold and Booker T fight the grocery?
When they went through the grocery store, the best fight in the world. They fought in a church.
The grocery store is the best fight, Hold on. Man threw Booker T through the scanner at the end. That shit said
funniest moment. One of the funniest moments. I remember with Steve Austin, when he goes and beats up Vince McMahon in the
hospital. Yeah, you see?
Oh, that one, yeah.
He was a doctor and he was hitting him with the bedpan and all that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you think about those things where he came with the Zamboni, when he came with the beer truck.
Yeah, the beer truck.
There was a time. This is still the wildest moment on some real like anime shit. They was beefing with WCW and ECW, and Stone Cold. They was all looking for him. Stone Cold pulled up in a Jeep, hopped out the Jeep, just started beating people up on his way to the ring. Mind you, it was like 50 dudes, and he was just walked off. Dude was like and just hit people. Then he came in the ring, stunned everybody. Everybody was like, yo, how you air it out by yourself, bro?
The whole
Stunning niggas and all that. Yeah. Although he tried to kill Rikishi with his car, but Rikishi did hit him with a car. But then one day I had to look back and go, yo, that really happened, son.
Yeah, it really happened.
My son Rikishi was sitting there like, please, no, please. And he was like, shut your ass up. And he's trying to hit him with a car. And they had to hit the car to stop him from hitting with the car. So.
I mean, that was obviously all staged, bro.
Nah, man, when you were a kid, you like, yo, what am I watching, bro? Yeah. Bro,
I mean, you're so invested when it gets to that part of it. You like, yo, wait, are they really beefing? Yo, he's gonna hit him with a whip.
Son, my man was sitting ledged up against a wall and Stone Cold was driving full speed. And in the back of your mind, you're like, yo, he's really about to murder somebody.
On live
full
TV?
speed, live television, just you like, yo, he's about to die. Yo, I was in my mind when I see the Usos. I love the Usos. I think they're dope, Solo Sikoa. But in my mind, I'd be like, yo, Rikishi was their dad. They dad almost. I used to think that like, oh, your dad almost died. So Stone Cold was gonna make sure y'all never even had a future. Like y'all wasn't even gonna be alive. Y'all was just gonna be black.
Wasn't gonna be born.
Y'all was gonna be born because Rikishi was dying that night. So number one.
Let's see this number one.
Number one WWE wrestler all time according to Bleacher Report is the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Interesting.
Now this is an interesting one because there was a time where Bret Hart was up. He was up.
I never heard of this guy.
What?
Wow, that's even worse than my answer.
Too young for you, bro. Too young. He said that's even worse than my answer. What was your answer?
I was just gonna say that. I was like, I know who he is, but goddamn, he not top. I don't think he's top 10, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that he's the top 10.
So Bret Hart,
you
know. All I gotta do is show you a picture. Yeah, this is just show you a picture, because once you see a picture, you'll know. Like, see this guy. You've seen him.
Oh, I've seen him.
You've seen him.
He's number one?
He's number one, bro. Yeah. So, to be fair, Bret Hart
one?
is one of the most technical wrestlers, one of the most decorated wrestlers. He was dope. Good guy, bad guy. He had some great matches in the 90s. He was dope. The Montreal Screwjob really messed him up. He was one of the most influential figures that let you know that at that time, if you didn't know wrestling was staged, you knew then. And
why?
Because he was supposed to win a match. No, he was supposed to lose a match. He didn't want to lose the match. He didn't want to drop the title because they knew he was going to go to WCW. And mid-fight, Vince McMahon had the fight stopped to say that he lost the match. So they did it very unprofessionally. Bret Hart was like, nah, fuck that. Bret Hart was pissed, spit in Vince McMahon's face, wrote that he's going to WCW. He was like, fuck y'all, I'm out. Went to WCW, he didn't really do that good, and it hurt. But just the different things that happened because of that, when you think about it, is because of Bret Hart. Bret Hart leaving caused Shawn Michaels to become one of the biggest larger-than-life wrestlers in that company. It also meant that he didn't have any more good guys to fuck with, so he had to basically handpick Stone Cold Steve Austin, make him become a beast, make The Rock become a beast, make Triple H become a great bad guy, and then it gave us one of the greatest villains, which was Mr. McMahon. Because after that, Mr. McMahon went on an interview and was like, Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart. I didn't do none of that, man. And everybody was like, what? And after that, he just started going to the crowd and being like, y'all can boo me all y'all want, fuck y'all. And they needed somebody to combat that. Enter Stone Cold Steve Austin. So all of those things gravitate around him. Does that make him number one? Not really. But
I don't think so.
It makes him influential in the sense of like your anger and your leaving because you were fucked over allowed so many people to eat and become stars. And then years later, he came back, welcomed them with open arms. But it was just, at that time, he could do no wrong, man. Him, his brother, his fam was dope. They was dope. But is he number one? No. I think that honor should go to Stone Cold Steve Austin. But whatever.
Out of that list, yeah, Stone Cold deserves to be number one.
He deserves to be number one.
Bret Hart, I wouldn't have been mad at Bret Hart at number two if they would have flipped it around.
Yeah, probably.
I guess after that, but he wasn't. Yeah. He was in the top. He's top 10 to me. Bret Hart wasn't maybe it could be that I'm getting into wrestling at a different time period.
Right.
Bret Hart is already not part of wrestling by the time I'm like really focusing on wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I'll give you that. Same. That's fair. That's what I said when I was watching.
He's just somebody wrestling, I knew about. Just because as I got older and into wrestling, you go back, just like everything else, you go back and you see, because you're going to see highlights of all these other people that don't wrestle anymore. You feel me? Like, if you're paying attention, you see, even the time of that time. They show you wrestling previews of old wrestling. Mm-hmm. So you're probably like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, it was a different time. When I came up, he was on the tail end. Because when I started watching wrestling, it was more mid-90s. So I caught it like right during the Montreal Screwjob and all of that. And but at the time, I was like, yo, this dude was dope. And his catchphrase was dope. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. You was just like, yo, that's some shit you just talked in everything. You beat somebody in video games, hoops, anything. You just said it.
Yeah.
And had
that's a hard ass line to leave back.
That's a hard ass line to leave with somebody. You walk off saying that, you'd be like, man, you gonna lose in Mario Kart tomorrow. Fuck you. You just like you could say it for anything. So it was really inspirational. He was dope the way he moved, like just the way he was in the ring and the promos. He was dope, but it just the wrestling business is cruel when it can be, and at that time it was even crueler. So, you know, shout out to all those. Shout out to the 10, but also shout out to the whole 50. Even though we didn't say their names, shout out to the whole 50 because some of them were women, which was dope.
It's time to go.
Yeah, it means it's time to go. That kicked over bottle, folks, means that we are done with Facts or Fuck out of here.
Just do like a wrestling move. Smash it,
and Stone Cold walks in and stuns all three of us. Yeah, you know. We want to thank you for watching this. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, Nerds in the Hood, and subscribe to us on all social media to see more lists of Facts or Fuck out of here and everything else that we do. So subscribe to us, Nerds in the Hood, NERDZINTHEHOOD, and check out every other piece of content we have. Watch our old videos, watch our shorts, reels, anime rap intros, everything. And make sure you come back for another countdown or another list with your boys, Marvlat
and McGee,
Young Dev,
the Nerds in the Hood.
In the Hood.
Catch you next time, people. Peace.
Peace. Dead.